Hey everybody, I'm recording this one really late. It's 12 o'clock in sunny California, 12 o'clock a.m., so it's not really sunny right now. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast, Mystery Movie Nostalgia with Family and Friends. I'm just recording this little intro in the beginning. Still working out a lot of the audio stuff, so the audio's a little wonky in places. Still working out the editing tools, trying to figure all that out, but thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your patience. I keep getting better every single time I'm doing this, and I had to edit this thing about twice because I deleted a couple of things. Still trying to figure it out. So thank you so much for that, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast. This is our very first episode 1, on the movie Max and Mary from 2009 with my special guest, my sister. Hope you enjoy, guys. Thank you so much. I did a dry one with Patrick, and it was so cringy when I was like, "Hey everybody, hey, welcome to..." I didn't do that, but just to like, you know what you have to do, like for like your reels, like, "Hey guys," like it's just like.
What are you talking about? That's my real voice.
No, I'm not your voice, but I'm saying like you had to get used to.
Hi everyone. So I've been asked.
You had to get used to the fact of like hearing your voice and like recording yourself, and it's just like
terrible.
Yeah, it's
a terrible situation.
Terrible situation. Okay. How did it start off on?
Oh Lord. We're doing great.
We're doing great, as we already started. But hello everybody, and welcome to this podcast, whatever this is. Actually, not whatever this is. I actually, yesterday on the plane, when I was at Target in South Dakota, I figured out the name.
This just happened.
This just in. I actually had a placeholder that I was going to say like, oh, we have a couple names. But this podcast is called Mystery Movie Nostalgia with Family and Friends.
Aww.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's so cutesy.
There was a couple of the couple names floating around. One involved a fruit and the popping of fruit. That was not me. That was Patrick.
No.
One was
no cherries allowed.
The one was the suck zone.
The what?
The suck zone. Because the first, so we did a dry run before we started this, and we saw Twister, and in the movie Twister, he's like, it's called the suck zone, and like most of these movies are not like popular. But yeah, so welcome to this movie podcast, Mystery Movie Nostalgia. What is it? Mystery Movie Nostalgia with Family and Friends.
Why don't you just come up with an acronym? Maybe it'll be easier.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. So hello, welcome to this podcast, everybody. This Mystery Movie Nostalgia. So look, it's the very first episode, and also this is the first time I've said this title, so it's gonna take me a while.
I'm actually shocked because you always come up with names before you come up with the
I know,
idea.
like I was thinking of like something with a pun, and I just couldn't figure it out. So again, Mystery Movie Nostalgia with Family and Friends. I'm your host, Brian, last name redacted, aka Kingston Hannibal, aka Benny Lava, aka Brian Lightning. And like I said, we just figured it out. So this is actually the first actual episode we are recording. We did a dry run with my friend Patrick and his wife Jem, and it went kind of okay. I messed up the settings, and so like the first part of me explaining what was going on was not recorded.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And we were also recording it like with my little laptop, and the CPU like kept cutting off.
Oh.
So like but it was a dry run. Like that's what we were doing.
Good stuff.
So you can hear her voice right there. That's my very first guest ever.
Hello.
And I flew her and her husband all the way out from San Antonio to California just to record this podcast.
Legit.
And if this thing ever makes any money, hopefully I can write it off on my taxes. Now, we've known each other for about 40 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, 40. Yeah, sounds about right.
Give or take. Probably
maybe a little more. Yeah.
And at least 20 of those, like, we've been really close because you found out I could be, like, your designated driver. Because I don't like to drink.
That's when the relationship totally changed. Yeah. I was like, this guy's cool.
So, this person is my only sibling. She's my sister from the same mister. Brenda, or her stage name, Bree.
Again, I told you, refer to me by my stage name.
Last name redacted, aka Bree, aka Breh. That's another name that was given to you, and Breen and Cheese Burrito. Welcome to the podcast, Brenda, the very first episode.
Thank you.
How does that feel to have that privilege to be the very first guest?
Elated.
Yeah.
I can't. No words.
You
Thank
can't.
for having me here.
Yeah, so one of the reasons I started, I wanted to do this movie podcast is, oh, that was my knee. That's the 40 years right there speaking.
There you go.
Is because a lot of the memories I have as a kid were because of movies. I know that mom and dad would take us to the movies all the time.
It was like a weekly thing.
Like a weekly thing. And they still go to the movies by themselves consistently.
On opening night.
On opening night. Do you remember we would go like when they had the midnight showings?
Yes. Is that a thing?
No, it's not. They like, if it starts on Friday, they'll do it on Thursday.
At what time? Anytime?
Like anytime on Thursday.
So why do they say it starts on Friday?
I have no idea. And that was cool because it was like the midnight showing.
That was
and I remember, do you remember that I would have to wake up for school the next day and they would still let us? Yeah, it didn't matter.
They still do that to this day.
Yeah, they still do that.
I think when I come and visit, they're like, oh, we're going to go catch and I don't know that they know that it's not the midnight showing anymore. So they'll specifically go like.
But it's been like 10 years since they stopped doing that, if not more.
Okay, well, they still do it. And I'm like, no, man, it's time to go to bed.
You're such an old lady, dude. I
need my sleep.
I need to get the what is it called? The blue plate special.
Yeah. But no, that is for sure. That's half of my vocabulary is just quotes from
movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also too, if I remember correctly, mom and dad would clean a movie theater back in the day.
Yep.
Do you remember any of the movies that you guys watched?
Absolutely.
Like which ones?
It's a shame to say this because I would never watch this movie now, but Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that was a big movie in our childhood.
That was, I must have seen that movie, I don't know how many times.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure the first one that comes to mind. I can't remember any other ones that we caught because, we would get there like when the last showing was about done.
What are some of your favorite movies?
Oh, man, that's difficult. I love really sad movies.
Jeez.
My absolute favorite movie, I don't care what anyone says, is A Separation. It's an Iranian film.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Didn't it win an Academy Award
Sure
a couple years ago?
Yeah. It's a phenomenal movie in my opinion.
Is it a downer?
Totally.
Through and through.
That's the thing about Persian films is that they...
For what we're going to watch today.
is that they end without a resolution. You have no idea.
Geez.
Did they live? Did they die?
Okay.
Did the child choose the mom or the dad? Like zero information. I love it.
That's pretty funny because I chose this movie because of something in the movie, but not specifically what was going on in the movie. If that makes any sense.
No.
A mechanic that's in the movie.
Interesting.
But it turns out that this movie is right up your alley. So let me introduce this movie. Hopefully you haven't seen it. And if you have, well, then that sucks. We're just going to watch it. You're going to have to sit through it again. This movie is called Max and Mary. Have you heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Okay, good. So this movie is an Australian production.
Oh, okay.
It's by the director Adam Elliot. You may have not heard of him because he hasn't done much since this. So this movie actually opened up the Sundance Film Festival in 2009. Mm-hmm. So like...
Good year.
Yeah, good year. It was a great year. So just a short summary of this movie without any spoilers. So this movie follows a friendship between two unlikely pen pals. So this little girl, Mary, who's 8 years old, she's living in Australia, and she starts a pen pal with a middle-aged man who's Jewish and has Asperger's that's living in New York City. And the film spans over 20 years of their unlikely friendship. And so this movie is actually told through the letters.
Oh, did you read throughout this whole thing?
No, like it's the letters are acted out.
Let me go get my readers.
Let me go get my bifocals. So some of the issues that are dealt with in this movie are the themes of loneliness, mental illness, learning disabilities, finding your identity, domestic abuse, and the search for companionship, and obesity.
Interesting.
They form a bond through these letters. Their friendship is genuine and it's true, and it's really nice. It's a really good movie. So as I mentioned before, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, Brenna, this movie's a downer.
Oh yeah.
So this is a great way to start your morning. This is like literally the first thing we're doing.
Excellent.
And I think it's an amazing movie, but it is a downer. And the reason I say this is because I watched this when it came out, like 2009, 2010. So
how did you find this movie?
So I saw this movie when I was extremely depressed. Okay. And I think you know what I mean, like depressed. I don't mean like I was sad. Like I meant like like pills and like therapists and all that jazz.
Yeah. And you decided this was a good movie to watch.
And I think I watch these types of movies when I'm sad because they make me feel better.
It could be worse.
Or you know what? They make it worse.
Or they validate your feelings.
Yeah, they validated, like, yeah, at least I'm not that person. So you said who introduced me to this movie?
Yes. Oh, no.
And it was a family member that's kind of not a family member.
Oh, got it. Oh,
You know who I'm talking about, right? Okay. Yeah,
there's
so
not
she
even a
introduced me
doubt.
to this movie. So this was part of a series of movies I saw around that span. Don't know if you've heard of these movies. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yes.
That's a downer.
Absolutely.
Harold and Maude, that's not a very good movie as far as like being happy-ish. I saw Adaptation, John Malkovich, being John Malkovich. And what was the other one? Oh, Donnie Darko.
Huh.
So
Interesting.
there's some of those movies were sad movies. Other ones were like mind bending movies. And Eternal Sunshine is both.
I think this kind of proves that, yeah, the power of what we watch.
Yes.
What we surround ourselves by and our mind.
I might do some of those movies later. Because have you heard of Harold and Maude?
No.
Have you've seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What about being John Malkovich or Adaptation?
I don't think
You've heard of them.
Adaptation sounds
They're Andy Kaufman movies. That rings a bell.
maybe
Anyways,
interessante.
I left a little bit of information out of this movie.
Okay.
And that's the main reason why I wanted you to watch this
Oh
movie.
Lord. I'm in for a.
You're in for a treat. It's going to become apparent right away.
Okay.
All right. So how are you feeling going into this, Brenna?
I'm optimistically cautious.
All
It
right.
goes the other way.
Or optimistic or cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic is what I was trying to
You're
say.
trying to get to okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Let's do it, man.
Well, hopefully this recorded well. All right, let's do this. So we're gonna watch the movie. We're gonna take notes.
Right.
I'm giving you homework.
Is there pen or paper around here?
And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the movie.
Sounds great.
We finished watching the movie. I mean, technically, we finished watching it yesterday. But life got in the way. My sister had to get her drink on.
It was like past noon, so yeah.
Yeah. I remember it being more sad than it actually was. I mean, it was sad.
Yeah.
But I remember it being like throughout the whole... But like, the way that they do it is like the sadness is interchanged with like comedy. With like funny bits or like jokes
True.
and stuff.
True.
So it kind of made it a little bit more lighthearted. But I remember, maybe just because I was sad at the time. I was like, why?
But I think what I really liked about this movie is, yes, it was a proper balance of sadness. It wasn't overly, dramatic. It was just very real, which explain to me, was it a true story?
So, okay, that was the thing. So it's loosely based on a true story. So the director had a pen pal. And so this is like his experience writing to that person, but obviously he's not Mary. But so it was based. He's not. No. It was based on his experience doing that. So right away, I told you that I had left out a little bit of information in the movie. Did you pick up on what it was?
The claymation?
The whole movie is claymation.
Yeah. Well, I was like, are we watching a cartoon? And I thought maybe it's just like the beginning credits or something. Yeah. And then you're like, did you get it? I'm like, okay, what? I mean, how many claymation movies are there?
Chicken Run, The Fantastic Mr. Fox. This movie, we mentioned earlier. So this movie was written and directed by this man named Adam Elliot. So the voice of Mary as an adult is Toni Collette.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was in She was a mom in Sixth Sense. She was a mom in Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah.
About a Boy. She was a mom in Hereditary. She's basically the mom.
She's always a mom.
She's always the mom. So the voice of Jerry is the late, great Philip Seymour Hoffman. And you could not tell that it was him.
No way.
It was Philip Seymour Hoffman. I remember again, we haven't seen this in a long time, but when I remembered that it was Philip Seymour Hoffman, I was like expecting to hear his voice.
All right.
But it wasn't his voice. It was completely different.
But what did they do to his voice?
I think he's just that great of an actor.
Yeah.
You know, like when we did the first, the beta test of this, we did Twister, and him in the movie Twister, he just steals the show.
Totally.
He just steals like his whole.
Yeah.
Which was one of the names that we were gonna call this podcast because of that. It was the Suck Zone.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call it the Philip Seymour Hoffman.
The Philip Seymour Hoffman. We're just gonna watch Philip Seymour Hoffman movies. And then the voice of Damien, although he had a small part in it, was Eric Bana.
What?
Yeah. So there was 2 Australian actors.
Wow. He's man.
Yeah.
This was quite a little cast.
Yeah. He was the reason that those guys in Knocked Up were gonna have a good time. Remember? He's like, if we have a good time tonight, it's because of Eric Bana. Have you seen Berlin? Have you seen...
Remember?
I quote that. I quote that on the reg. But nobody even knows what I'm talking about. So this movie on IMDb, on Rotten Tomatoes, had a 95 rating, and on IMDb it had an 8.1 out of 10, and it shows.
Yeah. Oh, it was a really excellent film. This definitely is not a film for someone to watch if they're sensitive to mental.
It's sensitive. It's because you have mental health, you old lady.
To mental health issues for sure. Like I said, it's not overly dramatic, but it's just so real that I think that's why it hits differently.
Yeah. So every time he gets a letter from Mary, he has a panic attack, anxiety attack.
Yeah.
And so one of them, he was institutionalized on the third one, for 8 months. And I wrote down here, mental illness in the 70s with 70s style medicine.
Absolutely. Shock therapy.
And I take back what I said about obesity, because that was a big thing for him, because that's the way he coped.
Correct. And then what part? Oh, I think it was like the last time. Well, the last time he was.
We're spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, after she wrote the book and he got really upset, there was a clear sign that he had to even put on even more weight. Like he was like really huffing and puffing to trying to get around. So yeah, that was a big part of it.
Yeah, I was thinking about this when he said, "I eat to cope." I was like, I sometimes reward myself with food, and I'm like, maybe I have a problem.
I reward myself with wine. Yeah, maybe I do have a
Maybe you're an alcoholic. So in the movie, we're introduced to Mary when she's a little girl.
Yeah.
She introduces her dad, who works at a tea factory, and she wants to marry somebody named Earl Grey. I thought that was pretty cool.
What was it, in Ireland?
In Ireland, they had like a bunch of sheep and stuff like that. That was a pretty funny joke. And then her mom, Vera, was kind of the main reason why she had a lot of the issues.
Yeah, she was a really terrible mom.
She was a really terrible mom, and she told her she was an accident.
Yeah.
Like, you joke about that sometimes, but you don't tell your kids, like, straight up, like, you're an accident.
It's like she made her believe she was an accident.
Like, I was the accident.
She was trying to figure out, like, how is that possible? How was it that I was an accident?
Yeah.
She really believed it.
So I was thinking about that, too, and I was like, Mom and Dad always joked that you were the experiment, I was the accident. Yeah. But I've never once felt like,
I don't know,
like I wasn't wanted.
Right. Yeah.
And her mom's a huge kleptomaniac. She said, what did she say? She borrowing the stuff. That's pretty funny. Then they're introduced to the chicken, Ethel, which, by the way, the chicken is in the movie for like 20 years. How long do chickens live?
That's a really long living chicken.
That's a really long living chicken.
Yeah, because Max went through how many fish?
That's right. Well, we're introduced to him in the beginning. It's like his fifth?
Yeah. What was the fish's name?
Henry.
Yeah, it was Henry VIII.
Henry VIII. Oh, so it's Henry VIII. Oh my gosh. And he's like, I wish my fish didn't die. That's pretty funny. So the whole reason she starts this pen pal ship is, one, she's lonely. She gets made fun of at school. She's bullied. Yeah. And one time they're in the post office.
Correct.
And her mom's stealing envelopes.
Borrowing
envelopes, yes. And she sees a book from the United States, and she just has a bunch of questions that she wants answered.
Right.
Because her mom doesn't answer them. Correct. It's like, where do babies come from?
Yeah, because it was like all at the end of her letter as well.
Yeah.
Well, no, the chocolate hot dog thing was after he wrote to her.
What do they eat? Like, what do they eat in America? Something like that? The main one was, where do babies come from in America? Because she believes... Well, she was told by her mom that in Australia they come in beer cans, and that she wanted to know if babies in America come in soda cans.
Yeah.
Which, if that was true, that would make sense, because...
I think she was onto something.
Again, the theme of obesity in America. So that's how she writes the first letter. And then, as we said, he gets the letter, he reads it, and initially he's intrigued, and that's my phone. Awkward. He gets the letter. Yeah. And he has a panic attack right away from reading it, because it was overstimulus.
I mean, my gosh.
Could you imagine having Asperger's in the 70s?
No. And see, that's the thing, is I didn't realize that he wasn't diagnosed with it until later on.
So... Until he went to the until he
to
was institutionalized.
institutionalized. And so this whole time I'm just thinking like that, this is terrible because it's causing, people are treating him this way, not realizing, that he's on the spectrum. But who knew about any of that stuff back then? But what I was going to say is like, it's not that far-fetched. Like well, I don't know about you, but when I go to Costco, if I have to go to Costco on a Saturday and there's a lot of people there, I'm just like, get me out of
I've
here.
gone to either TJ Maxx or Ross.
Yeah.
Gotten my clothes, whatever I wanted, and I'm quick about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone to go to the line and I see how long it is, and I'm like, nope, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want the anxiety of having to like interact with people. And ever since I moved to Tennessee, to Nashville,
yeah,
there's that comedy bit of that I forget her name, but she's saying like when she goes to like these stores that like people interact with her, and I'm like,
oh my gosh.
So when I go to the store, like I have to prepare myself to like people are gonna ask me questions,
right?
Like how's your day going, and I'm like good. Like it can't be a one word answer,
right?
And someone who is a former antisocial person,
yeah. Like a recovering one,
like I have to like,
yeah.
If I knew that before, like I've been to Nashville before, but I didn't like.
You didn't realize how much.
I didn't realize how much like people, are chatty.
You just gotta practice.
Like how's your day going?
You gotta practice your face.
It was fine until I started talking. So after he has the panic attack, he eventually like recovers and he writes back to her and he tells her like all the different jobs he has or had. And the funniest joke in that bit was when he said they used to work for the U.S. Army. And then they came and asked him if he was part of any radical group. He was part of any radical groups, and he said he was part of the New York Science Fiction Association. And then it's funny. It's like, oh, and then they dismissed him. And he's like, good thing I didn't tell him I used to be a communist. It's like they were worried about, but I think they fired him initially just because he was on the spectrum and they didn't like.
Right.
So he writes back eventually, but Mary's mom finds the letter and she destroys it. Yeah. She throws it in the garbage can. And it's actually about to get thrown away.
Yeah. And with the mom taking the trash out.
With the mom taking the trash out, but she trips and falls.
She
drops the trash.
She drops the trash and the chicken.
Ethel picks it up and
Ethel saves it.
And so then Mary realizes that her mom didn't want her to get the letters. And it made sense. It honestly did make sense that the mom didn't want her to read the letters. Because I think he answered like where babies come from or something like that.
He did.
Something that obviously probably not the most appropriate thing for two strangers that different age apart to be talking.
Because he included a picture of himself. So
that is true. He did include a picture of himself, so it might seem a little weird when they introduce Max. They just kind of show like or have the New York skyline, and they kind of pan down into his apartment, and now you start hearing his gunshots, and you said like, oh, that's what I thought New York was the first time I went to.
I really did. I was like 12. I go to New York and I was scared.
And you went without mom and dad, without any of us. You went with.
I was scared to death.
Really?
I really thought I was gonna get mugged and stabbed.
Well, this was in what, the mid 90s?
Yeah, this was in the 90s.
So I mean, the 80s was really bad in New York. But the mid 90s, I think at that point was recovering.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. I don't know. Maybe I watched what was that movie that depicted New York in like 30 years as just. Anyways, I can't think of it.
And then eventually we're introduced to her neighbor Damien, she kind of has a crush on him, and he has a stutter.
Yeah. So she falls in love with him, but he doesn't really pay her attention at the beginning.
Yeah, so they just kind of have a back and forth relationship for a very long time. And then one of the letters that she sends to him triggers him. And like we mentioned, he was in the hospital for 8 months.
Was it this letter? I think. Was it the second one?
It was the second or third one. Because she
starts talking about love.
Yeah, she starts talking about, she starts talking about love because she had the crush on Damien. And she can't ask her parents about it.
And she's really going.
Although she talked more about her mom, her dad didn't seem like he was a problem, but he was never there. Right. Because he was always working. Yeah. Specifically the tea bag factory. So and then he accidentally killed a guy so he's institutionalized for 8 months. He doesn't write back to Mary. Right. And then he accidentally kills a man with the AC unit. A mime.
Yeah, a mime who puts up an umbrella to try to save himself.
Classic. He goes to trial for that, but he's
Correct.
acquitted because it said that he's
He wasn't mentally
mentally what's the word?
capable enough.
So obviously he doesn't write back for 8 months, and she gets mad at him. She gets out of it because she doesn't write, and so she burns
all the letters.
All the letters.
Yeah.
So the way they made it seem is like after he gets out of the hospital, he doesn't write him back immediately.
No, and he also didn't look well. You know, he kind of looked like a little spaced out. You know, all the shock therapy and everything they had put him through, and that's when he realizes what his diagnosis is.
When he says he's diagnosed with Asperger's, when he's diagnosed with autism, it says something relatively new.
Yeah.
So I looked that up, and it's 1940.
What?
This movie was in the 70s when it was. So when they say Asperger's, is it just all autism, or is it a particular?
Asperger's
was a particular type of autism.
Particular.
But even then, that particular Asperger's is a spectrum of autism, like a subgenre, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, for having family and friends that have autism, we really know very little about it.
Yeah, so no, it's part of the autism spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I also saw that and let me pull up this note.
It's like a high functioning form of autism is the definition for it. Yeah. I loved how Max explained it, right? Because his doctor kept trying to tell him it was a disability. And he was like, I don't like that he calls it a disability. He likes it. He's like, what's wrong with being so honest?
What's wrong with being so honest? But he says, like, my doctor says I have a disability, and he says we're years away from from curing it. And he says my doctor says I'm defective.
Right.
And he's like, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like I'm defective.
Exactly.
So they make it seem, and it's kind of shown that he's actually very smart. If somebody wants me to explain to them chaos theory or something about science, I'm willing to. But if you want to talk to me about abstract concepts about love, like I can't.
No idea. Even facial expressions, right?
Facial expressions. So he had the little book which
faces.
I need to get that for my best friend. So autism was first described. That's in 1944 by an Austrian physician, Asperger. And then it says his work, however, remained relatively unknown until 1980s.
Wow. When
a British researcher, Lorna Wing, popularized the term Asperger's syndromes and brought his findings to people's attentions. Again, I can't imagine. Even something like depression, especially someone like us being from a Hispanic culture, our parents were never like that.
Right.
But we know other people that you're just sad, or you don't have enough faith, or
correct. Exactly.
And we were fortunate that our parents aren't like that, but we've seen it around us that people have suffered. Or one of our uncles, because of that stigma.
That stigma of no,
man up.
Man up, or what do you have to be sad about?
What do you have to be sad about? Your life's great. It's like, well, probably this conversation.
You are upsetting.
Are upsetting me.
Right. Man, I can't imagine. But I really enjoyed how he described it. And and he basically stuck up for himself.
Yeah.
As it is, I just thought I can't imagine someone that was on the spectrum that had to grow up in that time, with no one to understand. And again,
and they were like, "Oh, that guy's just weird.
You're defective.
You're defective.
There's obviously something not right with you." But
and all the prejudice that he had, and when they do the montage of him in the different jobs that he had, it was like, oh, he lost the jobs because to them, quote unquote, he was weird.
Right. And what was so interesting is when they were showing how Mary was being bullied, I kept thinking oh my goodness, kids are just so mean. But then Max, he's a grown man, and same thing. Being bullied. Just people are they're mean when they don't understand you or why you're different. They're just mean to anything that's different.
And his abstract thinking actually helped her to defeat a bully. In the very first letter that he writes back, she talks about
that was one of the other questions.
The birthmark that she has on her forehead, and he says, just tell him that means when you go to heaven,
right, you're
gonna be in charge of all the chocolate.
Yeah.
And so she tells that to her bully with the peso pluma haircut. And he gets like sad and like runs away. And he's
He
like,
does.
I like that what did he say? So he says, so he's talking to her about his religion,
Right.
that he was Jewish, but then he, he
Yeah.
became an atheist.
Mhm.
But he says he still wears his yarmulke because it keeps his brain warm. And then it cuts to a picture of his brain anthropomorphized and like has a little yarmulke on
And
it.
when he's saying like that he wishes she was the gatekeeper of the chocolate, but he's like, of course, I'm an atheist though, so
I probably won't be there.
I probably won't be there.
So then they start a relationship again, right? And then that first letter that he writes back after he comes back from the institution, he tells her, "I wish I could cry, or I knew how to cry normal."
He's tried.
He's tried.
He's tried to cry, and not a tear.
And then she does something really sweet. She sends him like her tears. She thinks about a cat getting run over by a lawnmower.
Like, why is she thinking of a
Yeah,
cat?
I was like, did that happen, or she just like thought it in her head?
Because it just suddenly panned to
She
that.
just had that right there in her Rolodex of like sad things.
Things that make me sad.
A cat getting run over by a lawnmower. She sends him his tears.
She bottles up her tears.
So then at that point, it jumps, 10 years?
Mhm.
It says 1988. And then her dad retires from the tea factory and then
Correct.
immediately gets killed by a rogue wave.
Yes.
And did you see the tombstone? It said,
right. He was.
it says here, beneath lies
drowned.
Noel, who drowned he leaves her a bunch of money, so that's it. She's able to go to university.
Yes.
I went to university. I don't know why I did a British
I
accent.
don't know, because she was not British.
She was not British. Let me. No, I can't.
Oh,
I can't.
no.
I lost it.
No.
Brenna, I do a very good South
No.
African accent.
No.
The
That's not what she
vibranium
was.
was in Africa the whole
I
time.
don't know what you're doing. Are you having a stroke again?
Probably. She studies, because of her relationship with Max, she studies disorders of the mind.
Mhm.
And she uses some of that money that she got from her dad to remove her birthmark. But she's still awkward
Right.
and she gets pooped on by a bird.
So then her neighbor, Damien,
Is going to
is
university
going
with
to
her.
university there, and she's like, hey.
Hey, good looking.
Yeah, and then a bird poops on her and kind of goes through the whole thing again.
And
They
then
just
something
walk
else
away.
happens too, where she gets like poop on her foot.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, you have poop on your foot. Yeah. Poor thing. It's always poop.
It's always poo for her. But she
Always.
does graduate. Before that, her mom dies, and I missed that part because she accidentally
Oh
drank
my
formaldehyde.
She drank formaldehyde. She had the bottle of formaldehyde next to the sherry that she loved to indulge in, and she was already gone.
Eventually, she does marry Damien, and immediately you can kind of tell like something's not.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
He
made my wedding
her
dress.
wedding dress.
You audibly said like, "Oh."
Yeah, I was like, but also the way that they were depicting like the wedding and,
Yeah,
and
and
his demeanor.
Yeah, his demeanor. He was very distant.
Yeah, he was distant.
Like the wedding night, he was just like, "Ha."
Yeah, like,
kind of.
okay. Mhm.
And then so like after they consummate their relationship,
Right.
she gets more confidence.
Yeah.
And that kind of like scares him big time because
Yeah.
he's just like, ah. And that's when you kind of see the signs that they're alluding to something different.
Right.
Is
that when he gets his pen pal?
Yeah, and then later on in the movie, he like leaves her for his male pal.
Yeah, for his pen pal.
Before that happens, she finished graduating at 25 years. So she's a doctor at that point
Mm-hmm.
because she does a thesis, right?
Right.
So a PhD thesis, and she does it on Asperger's, and she uses Max as a case study, which I thought was really sweet.
I thought so too.
She makes a bunch of copies, and they're going to be distributed. Like this groundbreaking study that she did, and then she sends it to Max, and he does not take it well at all.
He probably has his worst episode ever.
He doesn't write back initially, right?
Yeah, he does.
He does?
That's when he sends her the M.
He does have a panic attack again,
Mm-hmm.
and then he like gets like rageful. Is this after or before that he chokes the homeless man?
Oh, right, because he's upset about the cigarette butts. We haven't said that. He's really upset about the
Litter
littering.
bugs. That was one of his jobs that he had. He
Yeah.
he used to pick
I
up trash, and he said that was his favorite job because
He
he
just
didn't have
goes
to
on a
talk to.
rampage, and he doesn't get over it.
Oh, he doesn't get over it really
Mm-mm.
quickly. It takes a while.
It takes a while.
But then he takes the M from the typewriter and he like rips it up.
Right. And he sends it to her.
And he sends it to her. And this actually makes Mary also go into depression
Yeah.
and eventually alcoholism.
Correct.
She destroys. I didn't understand why she destroyed all. I mean, just out of respect for him.
I think so. She just didn't want them to be distributed.
And then the headline was in the newspaper that she destroys her career or something.
Right.
So basically, like all that she had worked
Yeah.
for was
Done.
for not. And to Damien's defense on leaving her,
Yeah.
she becomes very distant. She becomes an alcoholic, and she's
Yeah.
just not.
And some time passed. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
it wasn't
immediate.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
immediate. It
And
was.
so yeah, after some time, that's when he leaves. Yeah, because she's just kind of laying around drinking.
Max keeps getting bigger, like like really big. So like
That's right.
I remember watching this. I'm like, oh, but like they make it seem like he was at least 4 bills,
Yeah.
if not more.
And by this point, yeah,
by
he's
towards
really
the
puffing
end,
and puffing.
he was huffing and
walking around.
puffing, walking around. And I imagine in New York, living in a 3rd-story walk-up was pretty gnarly. Let's go back a little bit. He writes a letter to her with the M.
Right.
She sends back just a cup or something that says, "I'm sorry."
Correct.
And then that the relationship ends there. She becomes an alcoholic and all that stuff. Damien leaves her. Then, when he sees the homeless man, or the unhomed,
The unhoused.
the unhoused man, throw the cigarette butt, he chokes him, and like Max is a big guy, so he's like,
Right.
he's really in there.
Yeah.
The man says, "I'm sorry," and that triggers something in him
does.
that he sees the gift that she gave him that says,
It
"I'm
was
sorry."
Can't like some kind of
It was
can.
yeah.
I forget.
Oh, maybe it might have been a beer can or something because of
Maybe
the
it was
baby.
Beer can.
I'll have to look it up. I don't remember. We
Yeah.
probably should pay more attention.
Yeah,
to
maybe
that.
we should have.
But
thought about
that helps him see that, like, oh, she didn't really do it with malice intent,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And so he writes back to her, and he gives her all his Noblet collection, which is a show they both liked that was from
Right.
Australia.
Yeah.
He says, as a token of my appreciation, or that I forgive you. A token that I forgive you. So then it cuts to Australia, and this was the part I was talking about. At this point, she's on a really bad bender.
Yeah. Damien's left.
Damien's left.
got
She's
nothing.
had the house to herself. She's drinking. She sees an old bottle of Valium that her mom left,
Right. Yeah.
and I think it didn't show her. Did she takes it, or
She has like a whole handful of them in her hand while she's standing on top of the table, and
she's about to
the
commit
rope.
suicide by
Yeah.
hanging herself.
Yeah.
So in that, I remember that scene that they cut to a part in her stomach, and there's a baby in there.
Yes.
That did happen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I did remember because I left the room. I think when that happened.
Yeah, and I was confused at this point because again, like
It had been a while between when she was with Damien.
Right. Because she was also having some kind of like internal dialogue during that time. And I didn't know if there was a correlation there. I forget what it was that she said. And then they cut to that where they show like a fetus. I didn't know if that was just something she was thinking in her head. You know, this would have been nice.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know?
So I was thinking, okay, well, if the way they make it seem between the time that Max wrote her back and all that stuff happened, the made it seem it had been a while, like at least a couple months, if not more.
Right.
If not more. So I was like, maybe she had some partners in between or something. She must have.
Yeah, exactly. Because they never really said anything. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of seemed like, you know, her and Damien, like that relationship, part of their relationship just didn't exist very much after.
Only in the beginning.
Only in the beginning. And then, you know, she was just really busy with
the
writing
thesis and stuff like
her
that.
thesis, and he had a pen pal, and
then when she went into alcoholism and that stuff, then they completely stopped.
So yeah, I was a little confused about that.
So
no one else was in the picture.
Good for her. So the reason she stops is because her neighbor, who's agoraphobic. There's a joke in the movie about that. Agoraphobic. He finally comes out to knock on her door so that she can grab the package that was left there that has all the noblets.
Right.
And it was gonna rain, so it was gonna get damaged.
Yeah.
So that's like the thing that like.
Right. Yeah, because it was a big box.
It was a big box too. Yeah.
The postman, he already knocked. He tried knocking,
and he just left it there.
And she didn't come out, and so he left it there. And then even the chicken was trying to, like, get her attention.
That's true. The chicken was trying to get her attention.
The chicken's still alive.
The chicken's still alive. This is like at this point, it's like a 15-year-old chicken. How long do chickens live?
I don't know.
I'll put it up on the screen. That's how long chickens live. Domesticated chickens.
Her neighbor, that's what causes her to be like,
to get out of this. She finally, that friendship is still there.
Yeah.
Then she makes this decision for the second time to go to New York. The first time was stopped because she found the letter right before the angry letter he wrote back right before she went.
That's right.
So she finally goes to New York.
Yeah.
Then when she gets there, she has a baby.
She has a baby.
And the baby looks newbornish.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's claymation. And did you see the end coming?
I figured there was no way this could end happily ever after.
After all the stuff that
Yeah,
happened.
because I kept waiting. Like, I even thought when he won the lottery, something was going to
Yes,
happen
that's true. He
there.
did win the lottery.
I thought.
Even with that was like, I mean, he didn't have any need for money. He bought all the chocolate and
Right.
the omelets.
Yeah.
And he donated the rest of it to his neighbor. But then when she died, she left it to the cat sanctuary, and they scammed her out of all the money.
Yeah. So I kept waiting for the moment, and yeah, I didn't expect it to end super well, but I was okay with the ending. I just didn't want it to be something super tragic.
Yeah, so she gets there. He died the morning before.
Yeah.
But he did have a smile on his face.
He did.
And she seemed like content.
At peace with it.
At peace with it, because so they pan up to the ceiling, and he has all the letters that he laminated.
Right.
Like on his ceiling.
Yeah.
And everything that she ever gave him is like up there.
Yeah. And he died, with his head
With
up.
his head up. So that's true.
Yeah,
so he was looking at the letters.
He was like reading them when he died.
And then the movie ends. And then
and that was it. She just holds his hand.
She just holds his hand.
She sits there and holds his hand for.
But she does say he smells like licorice and old books.
Old books. Was that what the other person?
That was what somebody described.
Licorice
that he wrote
well.
That someone described him
licorice
as the smell.
Books.
And he says like, I bet you guys smell like shrimp over there. You guys have a lot of shrimp. And I was like, the old shrimp on the bobby thing.
Shrimp on the bobby.
So all in all, Berta, what do you like this movie?
It was a really good movie. I think you have to be a particular type of person to appreciate the genius behind it.
They do it all in claymation. I don't think it would have worked in any other way.
No.
Like live action or anything?
I think
I think it had to be animation.
I think the claymation is what helps you to be able to watch things like that.
Yeah. It
maybe takes a little bit of the human factor out of it, and so you're not, sitting there just like, I can't go on. I think the claymation really helps.
And I think it's really cool how it shows that age does not matter in a friendship.
Mm-mm.
Like you and I have friends that are either really younger than us or older than us.
It's sad. It's sad because if you describe this to anyone like, oh yeah, this much older man has a pen pal with a little girl, immediately it's like red flags. Right? But this wasn't the case at all. And it is possible. It's just very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that we're privileged because of our community that we
right.
When I was abroad.
When I was abroad, and I studied abroad.
Friends? No, I had a roommate that was like 40 years older than me.
Yeah.
And me and him got along super awesome. He was actually really cool. He would cook for me. This old Italian man would cook for me. It was awesome. And then now that we're at a certain age.
Speak for yourself.
Anyway. Like we're basically, we're in our 40s.
We are those old people now.
We are those old people now. We have friends that are like in their their mid 20s.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't. 100%. I get called like, hey, bro, you have real unk vibes.
What?
Uncle vibes.
Oh my! What is that a thing?
I don't know.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways.
All in all, great.
All in all, thank you so much, Brenda.
Film.
I'm glad that you liked the movie, and hopefully this translates to what we were talking about.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll have you on the next one. And I'm sorry I didn't use your stage name.
God, my stage name. Maybe every time you say my real name, you just go beep.
Yeah, I'll insert me and I'll say Brah.
Brah.
Brah. Alrighty then, thank you.